Welcome to Quantic TV. If, after watching the first 4 episodes of our Holodeck Earth series, you thought we'd never be able to continue to shatter established paradigms, then you need to get ready for another surprise. Today, we're going to be looking at what happens when atoms are cooled to the lowest possible temperature. A thermometer shows us that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, that the lowest temperature in the Arctic is minus 61 degrees, that air transformed from gas into liquid at minus 196 degrees, that the coldest places in space are minus 270 degrees, and that the lowest temperature that exists at all is minus 273 degrees Celsius. As we can see to the right of the thermometer, the atoms continue to change as the temperature drops to the lowest possible point until they completely dissolve at minus 273 degrees. It's hard to imagine, but if we were able to cool your house down to minus 273 degrees, it would immediately dissolve into an almost weightless cloud. The individual atoms, and thereby all the matter, would then no longer exist. But how can atoms be cooled to such a low temperature? Well, by bombarding them with laser beams against the direction of their movement. The slower the atoms become when you do that, the colder they get. At minus 273 degrees, they come to a standstill, resulting in their transformation from solid matter into condensate. Scientists at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich shot gold atoms in the form of jets of matter into this condensate, and you'll never believe the result. Twice as many gold atoms came back out of the condensate than went in. Tests revealed that the new gold atoms remained entangled to those that had produced them, and that regardless of the distance between them. The Munich scientists created the condensate from cesium atoms. They succeeded in making gold out of what is essentially a worthless material. So matter only assumes the form we are familiar with when the atoms are in a state of movement. To illustrate this with an analogy, consider whether it is possible for a person to walk barefoot on water. It is possible if the person is going fast enough. If you have a boat that has enough energy to pull the person at high speed over the water, you can walk barefoot on water. When you're moving fast enough, the water is as hard as solid ground. But as soon as the boat slows down and stops, the person will start to sink. Apropos energy and speed, Einstein's famous formula defines energy. E is equal to mc squared explains that E, energy, is equal to m, matter, multiplied by c, the speed of light, squared. What we are particularly interested in this equation is the m for matter, so we can move the equation around a little. We can turn E is equal mc squared around by dividing both sides with c squared. Delete the c squared on the left side, and we get the equation that defines matter. M is E divided by c squared, or in words, matter is equal the ratio of energy to the speed of light squared. So matter isn't what it may seem. It can only keep up the illusion of being solid when it moves at speed. An incredibly high speed of around 1 billion kilometers per hour, or if you find it easier to imagine, just under 300,000 kilometers per second. That is the speed at which electrons orbit around an atom's nucleus. We saw in the last episode that adding subatomic building blocks with full electron shells can transform a heavy material like lead into a clear gas. In this episode, we have seen how atoms cease to exist when they come to a standstill. And in the next episode, we will demonstrate how matter can, even at room temperature, change from its material state. Indeed, it does so constantly. If the matter out of which we are made up is very different to what we've believed until now, then we need to change the way we think about it. We need to see and treat matter in whatever form we encounter it, not only as matter, we also need to take its intangible aspects into consideration. So on that note, I look forward to continuing this exploration with you in the next episode of Holodeck Earth series. Thanks for watching.